Welcome, 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 my Cunning linguists. This is Josefsky here, your regular neighborhood language Lothario, coming to you from the outskirts of Sarajevo. And look, we have a bit of snow on the ground today, actually a lot of snow on the ground today. The first snow of winter in November here in Bosnia. What a day. Look at this. So, principle number one of language learning. Point number one on my language lovers manifesto. You are not learning a language. You are embracing a culture. You are not learning a language, you are embracing a culture. And what is a culture? A culture is a people. It is a way of life. It is a music. It is a history. You're embracing all of these things. And so, with that mindset, that is going to guide you and that's going to drive you forward. If you're just focusing on the words, it's probably not going to be enough, my friend. It's probably not going to be enough for you to become a truly cunning linguist. So, we have to fall in love and we have to have an attraction for the culture as well as the language. So, this is why I'm here in Bosanski in Bosnia. And this is why at the moment I'm dating Serbo-Croat, because I was interested in the Slavic people. I was interested in this part of the world. I was out here a couple of years ago and I thought, I'd like to learn a little bit more. So I'm on a cultural expedition out here, and I'm also doing a little bit of language study as well. But Serbo-Croat, it is a prickly mistress, yeah? It is a moody mistress. It's a difficult mistress, difficult to please. But that's part of the process, okay? That's part of the process. I'm getting to know the language. Would I like to go further? Or I'm just gonna, enjoy this experience for what it is. But it was the culture, really, that drew me to this language. It was the culture out here in this part of the world. And I chose Serbo-Croat. There are other languages in the Balkans. There's Bulgarian, there's Romanian, there's Greek, but I chose Serbo-Croat because it's spoken in 4 countries here. I thought, well, that's a lot of bang for my buck here. So even if I just learn some basics, I can speak it I can at least recognize things. I'm not a complete, inept moron when I'm going through Serbia, when I'm out here in Bosnia, or when I'm in Croatia, and if I go to Montenegro as well. So that was another factor. But it was primarily the culture, okay? So you have to love the culture, embrace the culture. And if you don't, then I really wouldn't bother with the language. I don't see the point learning Chinese just to say you learned Chinese. I think you have to have some pull, some attraction, maybe even a fatal attraction to the language that you study. So in my case, I studied to an extremely high level, and I speak French and Spanish at an extremely high level. Extremely high. I've just actually come out of a Spanish class just now because I was so obsessed. I was just so obsessed with everything to do with that language, the people, the history, the culture, the music, the food, Spain, Latin America, everything, right? The whole way of life, essentially. And learning it is one of the best, if not the best thing I've ever done. And then Portuguese came as a kind of cousin. Portuguese is the hot cousin from Spanish. You hear it and you go, wow, that is beautiful, right? It is sumptuous, sexy. So that's the passion that drove me to the highest levels in those languages. So yeah, again, this This just has to be repeated. You are not learning a language, you're embracing a culture. You're embracing a culture. So what culture is it you're interested in? Tell me, as your language coach, tell me, you cunning linguist, tell me, what kind of culture do you want to explore? What kind of culture would you like to find out more about? What place do you want to visit? What women do you find hot? You know, and if you're a girl and you come across my channel, what men in the world get you going, you know? Yeah, oh yeah, the girls do it too. Oh yes, they do. They do. I always remember one girl when I was living in France. She started dating a French guy who she thought was really ugly. Her words, not mine. But it was good to practice the language. She ended up marrying him. So, yeah, all these language romances that go on all over the world, it's a thing of true beauty. And it's all part of it, right? It's all part of it, okay? It's all part of it. The whole picture. And so for people who are, thinking about, you know, learning a language, or even if you have to, let's say you have to learn English, you've got to fall in love with the culture. You don't have to fall in love with English culture or American culture or Australian culture, but you have to fall in love with cultural products. You know, obviously there's all the cinema, there's Netflix, you've got 1,000,001 things, okay? If you love science, if you love business, well, English is the language of science and business. So read all the business books, read the science books, listen to the podcast, attend the meetings, learn, okay? But it's a labor of love, it's a labor of passion. Do not forget that. You must burn with desire for your language. You must look at her and want to caress her contours. You must look at her and want to devour her, okay? Be a language Lothario, be a cunning linguist. Don't be a boring, stuck in the mud, staying in the classroom, staying in the books and never really embracing the culture. And I'm telling you, this is what gets you to the high level. This will get you to a high level. I remember being in a translation class and I was mediocre in that class. It was a very hard class. But I remember being in that class, and then I went away to work in Spain and lots of other people went away to do different things. We come back to the class and, a year later, and I'm looking around, I'm listening to people talk Spanish going, oh my God, you sound horrendous. Why can't you talk? And, we're all, I think it's okay to judge in this case because we all wanted to be the best, and we weren't just casually learning at all. And like I say, it was a really challenging class. And I'm going, what's wrong with these people? Why do they still sound terrible? And I looked around and I realized, it's because they lack the passion. In a way, maybe they're too, or maybe in some cases they were just a bit too shy. We were young and they hadn't developed enough socially, really, to make the most of their time going and working overseas. So yeah, it's the passion and embracing people. Whereas in my case, I refused to speak English when I lived in Spain. I literally refused, apart from at work because I was teaching. And that's what drove me. And I was just obsessed with everything. I was just obsessed all the time with every single aspect, watching TV, going out, meeting people, having friends, exploring the city. I was obsessed. So, burn with passion and embrace the people. Josefsky, your language Lothario. Da. Volim Belgrad. Volim Bosanska. Take it easy. Do widzenia.